before anybody starts looking at deals, they need to first define what are their goals. Because what your goals are will be indicative of what vehicle you need to use in order to achieve that goal.
How to even just get started with this process as far as the search and everything. I mean, obviously I know I can go on to, MLS and look for properties, but I'm not sure, which ones to purchase. Am I looking for ones that look like they just need rehab or properties that are just lower in cost? But I don't want to, get something that's so low that I'm spending, more than I'm going to make to try and rehab the actual property as well. And then you mentioned something earlier. You said AVR. I had no clue what AVR actually was. So if you could clarify that as well.
Perfect, Chad. So first thing is, before anybody starts looking at deals, they need to first define what are their goals. Because what your goals are will be indicative of what vehicle you need to use in order to achieve that goal. Like we got some students in our program who work for the government, right? They love their job. They don't plan on leaving, but they need to make more money for like college for their children and have other discretionary income to do other stuff with. So for them, flipping and wholesaling, which are active income strategies, makes sense because it appeases the lifestyle goal that they have. If I came in on the tail end of when you were doing your introduction, and I believe I heard you mention that you looking for the solution to get out of work. Was that accurate? Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah, that's accurate. I mean, my jobs, plural, they both pay me very well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking to transition because I've pretty much, replaced money for time, and I'm trying to get some of my time back.
For sure. So with that being said, what I would recommend, probably looking at cash flow. So we've had, many students come in the program who have retired in the first year to 24 months, right, at young ages. And it's because they were intentional about coming in and building out their cash flow portfolio so that they had some residual predictable income coming in on a monthly basis that could, kind of mirror that of getting a stable paycheck and things of that nature. So that helped to cover their monthly expenditure to then free them up from the environment they were in. So once we kind of figure that piece out, then we could reverse engineer and say, what type of property specifically should we be targeting in order to achieve these new goals now, right? Based on how many of these properties do we want to get? What's the desired income goal in the next 12 months? And then it's literally just reverse engineering what marketplace gives us the proper looks that we need to achieve these goals. And that's going to differ based on individual, but certainly that's the starting point. We use this tool called bestplaces.net, which is a free resource. It's a wealth of information in there, somewhat so that you'll get lost. But we can show you how to use that tool to drill in on a particular marketplace and find out like what's the average return on investment in that market. To your point, how to look at it and say, this is a zip code I should be focused on based on the amount of rehabs that are happening in this said area. All of those things. So everything we do is derived from data. It's not just based on feeling or emotion. And that makes it easier to kind of go out and tackle the marketplace from that perspective.
And with that data as well, as it get as granular, I guess, as, how long the properties once they're actually rehabbed or stand on the market?
1,000%. 1,000%. Days on market is a very important factor that we look at because depending on who the investor is and what their goals are, there's certain markets that we'll just completely stay out of if the days on market exceed like 30 days on market, because that would be indicative of a slower market. And when you tag that on to your rehab time, your acquisition time, and look at the whole deal holistically, maybe the deal don't pencil to where it hits your expected return on investment. So then we need to look at a different market altogether. So yeah, we absolutely pay attention to days on market, probably more than most investors, because if you get into a flip, for instance, and the days on market in that area is 60 days, and you think you're going to get in and out of this thing and back on the market in 90 days, well, possibly, right? But even when you get there in 90 days, you got another 2 months before you probably even receive an offer. And then once that offer is received, it may take another 45 to 60 days to close. So you could be looking at 7 months in a particular project just predicated off what the days on market look like. So that was a great question. And then the second part, as far as the ARV, that stands for after repair value, and we determine the after repair value based on how we analyze comps, which are comparable properties similar to the subject, and ARV is just synonymous with the projected sales price.
I'm working full-time and willing to be in the real estate game full-time for myself. I was just wondering, what's the best way to start from the ground up without using my own credit or fundings that I don't have right now? But I know it takes time to make sure I keep working to have capital while this kind of takes off. My goal is to be able to find, I'm going to get my own housing. Well, if I can get multiple housing, I'm a veteran as well, where I can be in a home. I know some programs for 5 years, and then you can rent out, the home or whatever, or renovate it. So I'm not sure about, it's a lot of different options. So that's why I'm kind of asking you as an expert, just coming out the gate, what should I do first for my own housing and be able to be an investor and pay for itself?
It's this unique area that we all get into at some point in our life where we're trying to make a fortune while we're trying to make a living, right? That's essentially what I heard you say there. And we've had students in our program who may have at one point in time had blemish credit. Not saying that that's your situation, I'm just saying. And they needed help. So they found a deal. They wanted to get the deal funded. They had blemish credit. They leveraged a credit partner like another student, right? They leveraged them as a credit partner, put them onto their deal, and then gave them a small percentage. They went out, did the deal totally in the business name, which was backed by the credit partner, and they never had to compromise their credit or even have the money because they raised all the capital for so it's crazy, the realm of possibilities. Once you learn how to put these deals together, that you essentially, not that nobody wants to stay in that space, but you could run your entire business by having the right alliances and relationships and partnerships that your business could be out making money and you're not signing for any of it.
Right. And they can make a percentage of this helping someone else out.
100%. 100%.
How do you get an LLC? Because that's the first thing I know I don't have, but put everything on the umbrella of the LLC.
Yeah, for sure. Because the other part is, because we specialize in distressed properties, like your VA loan, you would use that for what we would call a conforming product, which means that it's already pretty much habitable, needs very little work. This is why the banks lend money at 100% on a VA, because the risk tolerance, right, is very low risk. Whereas we are, kind of our modus operandi is we go after distressed properties that require a different type of lender with a different type of appetite. Well, the good part about that is secondary market lenders only lend to businesses, not people. So it's incumbent upon everybody here to make sure that they have an LLC set up. My recommendation is an LLC with an S-Corp election, because you get additional tax benefit from being recognized as an S-Corp election, not an S-Corporation. You want an LLC elected as an S-Corp for tax purposes. And so when you go out and do that, then absolutely, there's ways for you to kind of manipulate your operating agreement, which is a part in your business documents that kind of tell the story about who does what, who owes what within the company. And then you can leverage that to your advantage by bringing in partners and things of that nature to get your deals done.